to go off on. I'm not going to really be too upset with these guys. I'm just upset that we can't beat the Magic. Uh, no, hopefully they can hear us now. We got some technical difficulties, but it's
Yeah,
all right.
hopefully we should be
Hopefully,
back
yeah,
up and
no,
running.
I think we're good,
Early,
Josh.
we
It
can get
doesn't
back.
matter. It doesn't matter. I'd just rather talk to you too. Doesn't matter, bro. I'll be talking to Josh over here. Uh, but no, I mean, listen, just in case you didn't hear that one. I mean, am I really going to cry over this one now? I just want to figure out these Magic issues. I don't know why we can't beat this team. I don't know if it's the length from these guys. I mean, we got those. I mean, you got Wagner, you got both Wagner kids. I mean, uh, I don't know if I'm pronouncing one of those names right, but those kids are pretty good. Paolo Banchero. So I mean, they got a nice little young team over there. Uh, but it's just I want to figure that one out because I don't want to be losing to the Magic. The Magic are a sneaky little team, Josh, right now. Maybe we'll see if they can sort of stay up there. I don't know if it's just an early season success, but I think I just want to watch out for that one. But I'd like to see us dominate the Bulls tonight. And, yeah, but if I'm gonna be completely honest about this in-season tournament, it's nice to get those incentives out there for those other teams. But am I really going to be too upset about it? No. But listen, I'm not too shocked about the Mavs. The Mavs can't play defense. Just to end this point on that one. Uh, the Mavs, listen, it's great offensive team. Great, watching Luka, Kyrie out there. Uh, Not too good on the defensive side. So I don't know if the Mavs are going to be able to withstand this whole season. So Mavs are going to be exciting this year. Don't get me wrong, but not going to go too far.
I 100% agree with that. Defense wins championships, especially in the NBA. I'm still weary on the Kyrie and Luka Doncic pairing to begin with. I don't know. I mean, I'm not an NBA executive, but I agree with you. I think the West is somewhat open, but I don't think that the Mavs are going to make a deep push. You never know, though. Mark Cuban loves to make some moves. Maybe he makes a deadline move. We don't know. But as of right now, I couldn't agree with you anymore, Ben. I mean, I don't think that they're missing too much with not making this in-season play-in tournament. But aside from that, your Boston Celtics got a huge one tonight. I shouldn't say a huge one, but a huge one in terms of the in-season tournament against the Chicago Bulls. Last group game that will be played for Group C is what I should say there. And yeah, just to echo Ben's sentiment, I mean, right now it's interesting. You look at the in-season tournament; they're kind of like hanging on by a hinge. But then you look at the regular season, just overall standings, they're still first in the entire, I believe, NBA. Yeah, I mean, Timberwolves are 12-4, Celtics 13-4. We got half a game up on them. But yeah, those Magic, Ben, are second seed right now. It's really a shocker. I mean, they've missed on so many draft picks. Hey, they're still able to make things happen. Maybe it is some of that depth at the big guy, the big positions there for the Magic. They're second. You got the Bucks in third, 76ers fourth, Heat for fifth. I feel like the top, besides the Magic, the top four there, we kind of figured it'd be Celtics, Heat, Bucks. But aside from that, I don't know. I mean, I agree with you, Ben. Just to kind of put it in a nutshell here, I'd like to see them make it just because I think that this is a championship team. They have championship aspirations, so I kind of want them to cross everything off the, bucket list there for the Celtics. I think they'll win tonight. I'm still confused as to why the Nets have that +8 differential, but we're ahead of them in the standings. I don't know how that works right now, but aside from that, hopefully the Nets lose. Hopefully we make it in because that'd be kind of embarrassing. But aside from that, I'm not too worried about the Celtics. I think they'll figure it out. I know dating back to last year, I can't remember who it was. It might have even been Tyler, was telling me, if you think about it, the Celtics struggled against this Orlando Magic team. Something about them, I don't know if it's a matchup thing, but I think we'll figure it out down the line. Interested in seeing them later. In our next 5 games here, you've got the Celtics and the Bulls, Celtics and the Sixers, which will be a big one, 2 back-to-backs against the Cavs, and then you've got the Magic on Friday night, December 15th, a week from this Friday. So, hey, we'll be seeing the Magic again. But I just wanted to fast forward over here to the other TD Garden team that, Ben, they're not It's weird. I was talking to you about this before. I said they have an interesting stretch here. A question on the bottom. Should we be concerned with the Bruins who have lost 3 of their last 4? I mean, lost last night to the Blue Jackets, lost to the Rangers 7-4. I mean, in 2 games, they've let up 12 goals. They lost to the Red Wings. They're on a 3-game losing streak. Lost to the Lightning as well. I mean, I know that they got a point out of that, but still, I don't know. I mean, are we seeing the Bruins come back to life, Ben? Or come back down to earth, as I should say? And should we be concerned about the Bruins?
Yeah, I think we are, Josh. Well, we said this young team was overachieving a little. Obviously, not losing a game for a while, a little overachieving. I thought this was sort of going to be a little more of a rebuild one. Uh, but here we go, Zach, saying that one already. We can't make fun of Zach too much. Those Red Wings were kind of in the similar position as us. Thought it was going to be another rebuilding year, but they're out here, they're a wagon right now, too. Just picking up Patty Kane, too. So it just tells you what season they're trying to go for. They're trying to win this year. They're trying to be competitive. So I can't fault them too much on this losing streak. Like I said, the Red Wings are good. They're playing well right now. Yeah, Rangers obviously just one of the top teams in the East. I can't question it. Great goaltending. I mean the Blue Jackets, that's a wash. That's a wash. They lost like 9 straight, the Blue Jackets. They just picked up a couple of victories. One of them happened to be just against us, and they had a 6-game losing streak against us. It was bound to happen. It's not a good look for the Bruins, but listen, the Blue Jackets, this is a young team. The Blue Jackets are going to capitalize on that. Blue Jackets can't lose every game. They brought it, and you got to give it to the Blue Jackets on that one. But I'm not too worried about this Bruins team. Much like the Celtics, let's not worry. Like we said, it's early in the season. Everyone's still got sort of that NFL hat on, but the Bruins still top still top division. So I mean, you can't ask for too much out of this team right now, especially as I said, just losing all these key guys. Bergeron, Krejci, that just mattered so much to his team's success, and especially that playoff run last year. We all know how it ended. So let's just say playoff run. We don't need to get reminded, but I'm not too worried about this team. We're just gonna hopefully Swayman bounce back. I don't know what Swayman was doing in that Rangers game. It was a little tough, but I think he'll bounce back. We gotta have a little more faith in him. I don't think we're taking calls, Aaron. No calls today. It's Zach. So yeah, I know Zach. We get the Red Wings over the Bruins, but I think they bounce back. I think they beat the Bruins, so I'm not too worried about them. Let's check on them in a little. We'll check on them a little down the line. Because I think we're just going to go through a little lull periods with this team, but I think we'll bounce back. Much like the Celtics. So Bruins and Celtics both win. Both win next game. Calling it.
I mean, I agree. I mean, there's two matchups that we should have. The San Jose Sharks. I mean, they're an abysmal team. I mean, you never know though. Any given day, any given Sunday, as they say in the NFL. But I agree, Ben. I mean, they've lost 3 of their last 4, or 4 of their last 5. Lost 3 in a row. As you mentioned, just a tough stretch here for the Boston Bruins. A lot of the games on the road as well. I think we're going to be okay. It's a little concerning, and I'm a little concerned in terms of, just the playoffs and everything like that. I'm also a little worried that, not that they've peaked, but, they were kind of beaten down on some bad teams, and I think we were getting a little inflated, and then kind of the balloon kind of just came out a little bit here. We got way too pumped up with the Bruins. But overall, I'd say, I'm not, putting the panic button at all. We're still first in the Eastern Conference. We're still first in our division. We're still winning the divisional games we need to win. We teams go through tough stretches, and I guess what I kind of want to see from them is how they bounce back. They've got a couple light games here on the schedule. I'm pretty sure the next game is against the Sharks, which I will be in attendance for that. They've got the Maple Leafs, then they've got the Blue Jackets and the Sabres, Coyotes. So this next stretch of 5 games they should handle. I want to see how they play against the Maple Leafs as well. That's a team that we own. But I said this last night, I'm going to say this again moving forward. This New York Rangers team is legit. We saw spurts of them last year. They just couldn't get over that hump. This team's legit. The Panthers always give us fits. And I will give Zach a little bit of credit here. The Detroit Red Wings are a tough team, and I think they will give us fits moving forward. It could be a potential playoff matchup. I still feel confident in my Boston Bruins against the most of those teams. The Rangers scare me the most out of all those teams because I feel like they're really taking that next leap. Plus, in terms of the standings, they're right behind us, and they just kind of kicked our ass. So, but aside from that, Ben, to kind of just put it in a nutshell here, we can move on to the NFL, which I know a lot of you guys want to talk about. Tough stretch for the Bruins, a lot of away games. You know, the ceiling's not collapsing. It's not over. We're still first in the conference. I think the only concerns that I have is this the same Boston Bruins team of last year that kind of will choke when push comes to shove? When push comes to shove, I have that in the back of my mind. And I also have in the back of my mind, I want to continue to have home ice. That is really important for the Bruins moving forward. They can't screw that up, Ben. So continue to win some games, beat up on those Sharks, get some momentum flowing, beat up on those Maple Leafs, which you own, and then now you're back in a groove here. You're back and going. And as much as you want to poo-poo on the goaltending, and not poo-poo, but you want to give Swayman some slander, both these guys do need to be better moving forward. James doesn't agree with me, but everybody knows how I feel about my dual goaltenders moving forward. Both these guys need to knock it out of the park. But again, this defense needs to stop letting sloppy passes in their zone. You know, the neutral zone's been an issue for the Bruins as well. A lot of power play goals, just a lot of power play opportunities. They've got the Milan Lucic thing kind of hanging over their head right now. Again, I think they're going to be fine. Am I concerned? A little bit in terms of how far we'll go. I still think we'll win a playoff series, and I still think that we can contend within the East. But right now, I will say the Rangers do scare me. That's what I'm going to leave it with, Ben.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, uh, everyone kind of pushed that to the side. So dealing with the Lucic fallout, everybody kind of just forgot about that, and they kind of just dug that one under there. But I mean, that's affecting the team too. And like I said, Josh, I mean, this team is just giving up way too many goals. Just this defense is just getting bodied. It's just been way too easy for these other teams just to get down in the neutral zone, just doing their thing over there. So I'm not too much a hockey guy, so I can't go too much into it. But another good point from Zach as well. Josh listing off those teams. It was Sharks probably the easy one. It used to be the Coyotes were the easy team on that little West Coast trip. But Coyotes are a legit team now too. No easy opponent on that one right now, except for the Sharks. But I'm excited. Our first West Coast trip went pretty well. So I'm excited to get back out there, see if we can get another sort of string a couple of other solid wins together. Like I said, it's just a young team. I'm willing to be a little more patient with this Bruins team. I know it's patient with the Celtics, but it's a little different. This Bruins team is just getting together. But I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be fine. I'll still take the Bruins over the Red Wings, Zach, in that division. So we still got to go with that one. But it's going to be some exciting hockey going forward. Well, I'll be watching out the Red Wings too, Josh. I'll be watching the Red Wings for Zach.
I like it. We're going to get to some of the comments. Welcome in some people. We've got Marianne. Thank you. And Marianne and Zach for letting us know about the technical difficulties. Think we're back up. You can hear us now. Hopefully. We've got Aaron in here as well. Are you guys taking calls today? Ben took that comment earlier. We are not. But I do want to say, I feel like we are two things. One, I got to figure out the phone thing. We'll get that up. Try and get Ben's like, I don't even care about it. We'll figure that out. But two, I feel like we are due for a nice agenda-free. Have you guys join the Zoom? That should be coming down the woodworks there for you guys. So we'll keep that in mind there. But
I like that one.
We're gonna move forward.
I like the phones, Josh. Josh, I like the phones because I couldn't hear them last time, so it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I was kind of playing relay man for
I'll get harassed. Yeah, I was about to say I'll get harassed on there, but as long as I don't have to hear it, as long as Josh is my relay guy, I'll be fine. We'll do calls, but yeah, I definitely like to. We gotta get some of these people back in the Zoom, Josh. It gets a little crazy. We'll do a little limits, too. We'll try and make sure everyone gets the limits in there.
Quick
But
take and
hopefully we
you're
get some
out.
people. Yeah, quick taking
Depending,
your
depending, depending.
depending. Oh, maybe Scooby gets a
Yeah,
couple of minutes.
Scooby does get a couple. Who actually was in here last week. He does his like
Shout out Scooby.
WWE, like his like Rock appearances. He's like too good for it, and then all of a sudden he's back in here randomly. He just pops in. Scooby's back. But we're off and running here. We talked about some of the Celtics, talked about the Bruins. Now we're going to talk about your New England Patriots. We're going to talk about the NFL Week 12, some of those Thanksgiving matchups, which we almost got, Ben. But who would have thought? Actually, who we did know that the Lions aren't good on Thanksgiving. There was some weird stat like when it's a full moon and the Lions are gonna. I swear, I'm not even making this up.
I wish I
I
knew
got
that.
a
I wish
Bleacher
someone
Report
told Rob
update
that
from
too.
it. The Lions are 0-12 when there's a full moon the night before they're going to play. Weird thing, but even aside from the full moon stuff and the weird antics, they're weird on Thanksgiving. They win the games that they shouldn't win and they lose the games that they should win. Jordan Love and company looked pretty good. My Dallas Cowboys beat down on the Commanders. Thank God. The Commanders got me eliminated in the survivor pool. The Cowboys have my back. 49ers still look good. Eagles, again, Ben. These guys just grind and grit out wins. I can't hate on them. I've been saying this for a couple weeks now. I think that they are the best team in the National Football League. I think that they can beat the 49ers. I thought the Bills were going to have them. The Bills had a shot. They didn't. I still don't think it's done yet for the Bills. I think they're back, but they need to play mistake-free football. They have a very tough couple weeks of matchups coming down the line there for them. And lastly, Ben, I threw a lot at you. We'll see what sticks at the wall and for you and the viewers. The Patriots suck. They are terrible, 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 terrible. Between Bailey Zappi, I don't even think it's not even just the quarterbacks. The team is not that good. Ramondre Stevenson is a shell of himself, and I know some people are going to say, "Oh, well, it's tough without." He's your best player, and that's really not saying much. I still stand on the fact that this New England Patriots team, a quarterback is not going to save you right away. Down the line, of course, that's the decision they got to make, is drafting a receiver and drafting a quarterback, hitting in the draft, because that's something they haven't been able to do. But they're ways away, Ben, and this team is one of the worst teams in the National Football League this year. And again, that Vegas money line where people were saying it, I think Vegas had them under 6 or something like that. That's looking like a hammer for the under. Your New England Patriots might be one of the worst, if not the worst team in the National Football League. And that's just embarrassing. I don't know, Ben. I don't know. They're just Tommy DeVito.
Keep going, Tommy DeVito. He was the best, Josh. Tommy DeVito's the man. I gotta give him that one. Shout out to Giants too, plus 176. They helped me out big time with that one. I did. Josh just hitting that under one. Shout out Jerry, shout out Colin and Jeff for taking that Pats Steelers record. Bet with me. It's looking pretty good right now. I got a nice, comfortable lead, so I think I'll be making some money on the Steelers finally for all those years of Pats torment. So I think they owe me a couple of years. Where I get to torment them. But yeah, Josh, it's just, we'll get to them a little later too. Josh threw out, I want to get to that Bills-Eagles one, but we'll get to it a little too. But the Pats just stink. I think, I was on that fence too, Josh, with the, this team's just not going to get better with the quarterback. The offensive line is horrendous. Some wide receivers can't make plays. Ramondre, as you pointed out, is the only good person, only good player over there. And having some moments too. But yeah, I think they just got to take a quarterback at this point. If they really like Mayor, Williams falls to them. There's just got to be a spark plug for this team. There's got to be something for this team to get excited about next season, because the Mac and Zappi experiments are over. Right? Yeah. I feel bad for Mac at this one too. The past 11 games, getting benched 4 times. You either just gotta make a decision on him or not. You gotta either put him out there because you just ruin his confidence. And you see it already on him. Getting pulled in this second half. Obviously he should have been pulled, but why is he even still out there? You just, if you're going with him, just go with him. You can't keep saying the kid. So you just got to move on from him. Zappy too. No more Zappy mania. I don't want to hear it. I guess he made it a little better than Mac. Not really. Obviously Ryland with that clutch kick. It's pretty good wide left. Thank you for that one, Ryan. I appreciate that. But they just they need a spark plug. They need something. So I think they will get May or Williams because if they draft a defensive player, I think the city might burn to the ground. Bill better not pull a move like that, which he's known to do. So, yes, as Nick DeBoss point, I need more than a quarterback. Yes, Patriots need a lot right now. I want to transition to Josh's almost upset of the week. That was a good call from Josh. I mean, the Bills had it. Obviously, there's a lot in there that you can blame. Obviously that misroute, whoever you want to blame on that Gabe Davis one. Is he going? Was he supposed to go inside? Could Josh Allen hold that ball a second longer? For Gabe. Obviously everything else in between. But I'm looking at that timeout, Josh. I'm pretty confused from that timeout from McDermott. With 9 seconds left, Jake Elliott, 59-yard field goal, one of the best in the game. You could have just let him scramble out there. You could have just let him go out there. They didn't have any timeouts. You could just had to force them to go out, kick a field goal. I would rather that. Listen, I know I'm no head coach, but I'd rather have them go out there a little scrambled, just run out there, not being able to set up, the formation and everything, because Jake's one of the best in the league. And he clearly just proved it right there, but crushing that 59-yarder. So I was a little confusing from McDermott on that one. A couple fourth downs, I don't know. Obviously, the missed field goal too, blocked field goal as well. So I'm not, totally blaming it on McDermott, but just some questionable calls from McDermott on that one. I just really didn't like that timeout, Josh. So I want to put that in the Cowboys. It's a Cowboys role. Thanks to that one. And Robbie Betts is back. Robbie Betts, his first leg in that parlay he sent last week, lost. So thanks for that Lions money line. Didn't even crack out at Thanksgiving, the first Thanksgiving game, but everything else, I think besides the lock and one hit. So give Rob credit for that one. It was about 4 out of 6, 4 out of 6. So maybe 3 out of 5. I don't know. But shout out Rob with that one. I don't know if I'll be taking this one. He said Connor Bedard scoring in Chicago against Seattle. I could see that one. I like to look at that one. Take the over for threes for Fred VanVleet. I don't know why Rob's doing those bets. I don't know why he's taking the over for Fred VanVleet, but hey, shout out to Robbie Betts on that one. I don't know if I'll be taking that one. I'd rather take the Connor Bedard one. He's been lining it up. So I'll take that. I'd go with Connie B on that one.
I was just actually trying to make a little graphic for Rob on the bet. We can get to that a little after, but yeah, I mean it's grim for Buffalo. That catch right there I have on the screen was just the deflating, that third down. Hurts is able to just scramble, scroll out, gets that pass off. This play was huge. The horse collar, aside from that, you can't take the sack in that situation. Then Josh Allen comes down the field. Later in the game, he throws a pick after the Eagle. I think it was actually after that Jalen Hurts scramble throw for the touchdown. He comes down the field, immediately interception into double coverage, trying to throw to Diggs. Bradbury intercepts it. Just careless football there in a big moment. Aside from that, Josh Allen does his thing, drives them all the way back down on the backs of James Cook. Latavius Murray as well was kind of cooking. He's been a decent little signing there. I feel like every time I look at the screen, he's kind of the unsung hero. Not that there really is a hero for the Buffalo Bills, but one of those guys who's really just putting it in, getting his money's worth. But aside from that, Ben, it's a very uphill battle for the Buffalo Bills. They've got a tough schedule. They've still got to play the Chiefs after this bye week. They've got to play the Dallas Cowboys. They still have to play the Miami Dolphins in Miami. I mean, they've got a very tough schedule. There's probably a couple other teams I'm missing. They'll beat the Patriots in Buffalo. That'll be a beatdown. But aside from that, that's just a game you have to have if you're the Buffalo Bills. And again, we're sitting here talking about the Buffalo Bills. I should be sitting here talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. They've been very, very good. Even with Jalen Hurts not killing it in the stat sheet. And I know I follow a lot of these guys on Twitter who are huge Cowboys fans. As you guys know, I'm one of the biggest Cowboys fans of all time. You know, they're saying, oh, why is Jalen Hurts ahead of Dak Prescott in the MVP race? Dak should be there with him. I agree, but at the same time, wins and losses are the most important thing in this National Football League. They're not going to remember you for your stats. Shout out to Dan Marino, those guys. Lewis loves that one. They're going to remember you for your wins and the Super Bowl wins. And that's just what Jalen Hurts does. This guy is a gamer. He is the complete package of a quarterback who can run smart, throw the ball well. He makes the right decisions. And guess what? The whole broadcast, they talked about how this Philadelphia Eagles team, they keep their calm. They keep their calm. That's what Nick Sirianni talks all about all the time, is when they're down, they're able to kind of keep their composure, and they've played in the Super Bowl. They've won big games. A couple of those guys played for the team in 2017. They've got a couple other guys who have also made some deep playoff runs. I mean, half the team, they went to the Super Bowl last year. So it's just so true. As much as I hate Sirianni, this is what they do, Ben. They get down in games and then they come back. That's what championship teams do. They go down at home, they come back, they make a couple plays. Even if it's not A-plus football, they still find a way to win. And that's why I think Jalen Hurts deserves, to be in the MVP conversation. I'm one of his biggest advocates, although I shouldn't be. But this team is just unbelievable, Ben. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat the 49ers this week. Don't worry, I'm not taking... I think the Eagles are technically the upset in that. When I was looking at the spreads this morning, the Niners are a favor by 3. I mean, at some point, man, you got to think they're going to lose a game, but they just keep winning. I'm going to stay away from that until I absolutely have to post my pick. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to put the Eagles in the upset alert. I'm not going to put the Niners as my lock. Surprise. Spoiler alert for you guys. But yeah, again, Ben, they win games that they have to win. And on the flip side, for teams like the Buffalo Bills, the Chargers, these are teams that they have the talent. Yeah, the Chargers, I shouldn't have thrown them in. But again, they get in these situations, these close games. The Chargers have been in a lot of close games. It seems like this has always been their thing. This has been their sentiment, even with Phillip Rivers. They can't close out the close games. That's what the Eagles can do. They're a championship team. Right now, they're the best team in the National Football League by a couple notches. I'll say the 49ers are probably right there behind them. Chiefs, I'm still concerned about that offense. There's only so much Travis Kelce can do. The glue, that's what I call him. Travis Kelce, the glue. Doesn't really match or rhyme, but it's true. Once he goes down, they're kind of lost. I like what Justin Watson's been doing. They've got a couple of these guys like Rashi Wright. I mean, it's cute, but at some point, it's going to catch up to them. Another team that just finds ways to win. They're still in the hunt there for that number 1 seed. But again, Philadelphia Eagles, man, they just keep winning games. And Jared, man, the Buffalo Bills, you got to continue. This has to be the regroup that the Bills and everybody's been talking about. This bye week, they need to get some fresh legs, some fresh rest. Hopefully they get Milano back at some point. But I liked what I saw out of the defense early in the game, Ben. But as you said, a couple questionable calls from Sean McDermott, a couple questionable decisions by some Buffalo Bills players, and it's in the Eagles' laps to win. So Buffalo's got a long bye week. Your New England Patriots, as you mentioned, Ben, they got to draft someone. They got to do something. But the Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the National Football League, Ben. 10-1. They continue to win games. That's what championship teams do. And guess what? They're doing it against some pretty good football teams.
Yeah, I mean, we're mentioning all these tough schedules. And I feel like the Eagles are just always with these other tough schedule teams. They're always the other opponent on the other side. They're just winning all these games, being the Chiefs, Bills, you name it. So, I mean, this team's just answering the bell every time. And like you said, I mean, I got to just give it to the Eagles, obviously, as number 1. Then the 49ers, they're, not right there, but they're a couple notches behind them. I really like that Chase Young addition. I think that's going to give a lot of fits to the offensive sides, and I think that could possibly be the solution, slowing down Jalen Hurts. So, there's got to be somebody out there. I mean, Chase Young and Bosa on both sides is a pretty good option for that. So, I mean, I'm just looking at those two teams. Obviously, Ravens got a nice win against the Chargers. Like we said, who cares about the Chargers? Chargers just gotta get rid of Staley. They just gotta do something else. I can't keep watching Herbert waste that in Herbert too. Herbert's gotta be held responsible too a little. little side piece on that. Uh, but no, I mean, it's just I hate to say it from the AFC side, but the AFC side is just not looking like anybody's a viable option to beat one of those teams. I think it's just the 49ers Eagles race right now. Zach, yep. I mean, hey, shout out to Sean Payton. Really shows like we briefly hit on that too last week, but shows what coach can do, Josh. I mean, shout out to Sean Payton. Uh, Zach's been trying to get some of those NOLA comments in there, so we'll give
I
him a
and,
little NOLA representation.
and I was gonna get to that. And yeah, to your
I saw him
point,
comment.
I mean, who Russell Wilson's only got like 6 interceptions or 5.
Yeah.
Like he's like actually playing really well this year. This team's 6-5. I believe right now. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody or Ben. I think that they are technically a playoff team.
Oh, yeah, they're right there with
I think they're the 7th
Colts are 6-5
seed, right?
The Colts, yeah, the Colts might have. I think they're right there with the Colts. They're all 6-5. We got a couple 6-5 teams right there. I think
You're
Colts
right.
hold it currently.
Texans
But
will
I
fall
mean,
down.
yeah, the Texans are right there too. But I mean, hey, the Broncos are playing the Texans this week. Huge matchup for those AFC. 7th seed right there, and Browns obviously with this DTR injury, staggering. They kind of just falling away even on the defensive side now. Denzel Ward getting hurt. Browns are kind of slipping away, so you never know. Obviously, Broncos beating the Browns helps out that case this past week. So I mean, you never know with this Broncos team. Josh is with the Colts track record of blowing some easy games and beating the Colts. The Broncos might be able to slip in there. That defense has been stellar ever since that 70-point game against the Dolphins. People forget it seems like a whole season ago, but they did get 70 hung on them. But ever since that, I think they've been averaging 19 points, allowing 19 points, but 19 turnovers. It's either 16, 19 in that ballpark range, leading the NFL from that point on. So, I mean, the Cowboys. The Cowboys. Sorry, excuse me. Broncos. Broncos are. I mean, they're a solid team. You gotta give credit to Sean Payton. And as Zach said, Nola is definitely missing them. But I don't know. I think New Orleans is missing a lot. That was a rough Falcons game. I think it might be slipping away from that division. Might be slipping away as we know it right now. Sorry, Zach, but Bijan's finally turning it around. So.
Another one. My parlay screwed up. But yeah, Zach, I mean, perfect timing, Ben. I was like, he put that comment in there where I was so fired up about the Eagles and they keep winning that I forgot. And I was like, we're going to get back to that. So perfect point there. Before we get to our Week 13, some of our picks, locks, upsets, we got Zach. Don't even talk about the Saints. They don't deserve the time and space. I swear, in all caps, Carr needs to get the blank out. I like the blank. He went. He put the censorship there. I will say it's funny. Of the musty city. Same with the offensive coordinator and now the head coach. So Zach is officially done with what's his Allen. Dennis Allen. Zach's officially done with Dennis Allen.
Get him out.
Oh, he pulls a Josh little word there. Praying for Winston. Save the city of New Orleans. So, Zach,
let's go.
Zach, no, I do know how you're feeling about that game. We were on Xbox. I mean, I have never heard so much yelling from a headset. I'm trying to do my laundry. I'm like, I had to put the headset down. I was a little sick this weekend, whatever. I never had heard such loud yelling. I pick up my headset and he's going off. I don't blame him. Some of those throws by Derek Carr, that double coverage one, I think the Falcons put like a slow-mo of it. I mean, this was a team we thought was going to be sneaky good this year. We thought this was going to kind of be the Lions of this year. They've got Olave. They went out and had a good draft. They had Michael Thomas coming back. Alvin Kamara, obviously those issues, but they still have a sound defense. That Adabo kid, however the hell you say his name, he's friggin' good. That kid is really friggin' good. I think this is his second year. He's like up there with Marshawn Lattimore, in my opinion. Every time I look, this kid's making a play for them. The secondary. Zach's guy, Perry's been killing it too. It's weird. I mean, I'm praying for you guys too, Zach, because you shouldn't be losing those games against the Falcons. Just a complete disaster. And shout out to that crowd. That crowd was giving it. They were all into that game. Another Aaron, Josh is a big prayer. That's funny. That's a good one. Good one. Little inside joke there if you know that one. If you don't, it's fine. We don't need to talk about it. But aside from that, the Falcons, they should not be winning that division. This should be in the Saints spot here. And I'm going to take a second here, Zach and Ben. It might be time we think about a quarterback change. I know some people are like, The only reason that has me saying no is because the money that's tied to Derek Carr. But he does not look good, Ben. They've got some weapons there. It should not be this bad. They should win this division. It's not like it's a New England Patriots thing where you look around, you say there's no talent. I mean, we're talking a bunch of weeks ago, they shut out the New England Patriots. They looked great. They've won a couple good games in that division as well. They've played tough against some teams. And now things are getting a little dicey in that division. I will say, I don't hate their chances this weekend. That's all I'm going to say. But they gotta. Ben don't like that one at all. They do have to think about the quarterback situation because Derek Carr. I feel you, Zach. He has not looked good, and similar to your situation, I didn't even know that they got rid of Will Lutz. The kicker has missed some big kicks as well. But you're going back to the Musty City this weekend. You're going to be in your hometown. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I just want to double check my picks for that one. Yeah, I don't really agree with that. A little teaser from Josh in that one. Just double check my picks for that one. Saints against the Lions. It's going to be a tough one, especially after the Lions just get embarrassed on Thanksgiving like that. I think the Lions are going to come to play. A little chip on the shoulder in that one. And I'm sorry, Zach, but yeah, I don't think they're getting it done. But this, as just said, Josh, yeah, this team was supposed to be it for them. Derek Carr, finally competent quarterback. That's what all this team needed for all these years. I mean, that defense has been outstanding. It's been killing it with the draft. Obviously you got the pieces around them. Olave, Kamara was coming back. At the time, Michael Thomas too. Michael Thomas just here we go, Zach. We would just throw that in there. But at the time, Michael Thomas was around, but the Saints team just, I don't know. This Saints team just, I think they're just cursed with the quarterback position right now from Drew Brees. They just haven't had a good one since Brees. It's just gonna have to look to the draft because this isn't working out there, Carr. Too much money tied up, and as Josh pointed out, I think you're gonna have to roll out with Zach's throwing out the praying for Winston and all the hashtags he wants, but I think we've seen what Winston can do over there. We know what Winston is. So let's just might as well ride it out with Derek Carr. I've seen Charlie's comments already. Yeah, I did get screwed this weekend. Thanks, TJ Hawkinson and Ravens defense. That wasn't too good for me. So we'll back off that. We don't need to go too deep into those ones. But Zach, Saints might be done this year. I kind of like the Falcons right there, Josh. This defense is legit, and they might be able to take that division.
That was a huge pivotal game for that division. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the AFC and the NFC. Like their Texans are 8-3. 8-4, and they're technically on the bubble. They're not even in. Then you got teams like the Vikings 6-6, and then the Falcons 5-6. Like they're the division leaders. They remind me of the Tampa Bay Bucks of last year. Like that team that's just kind of like, And I still even think the Bucks team last year is better than this Falcons team. But aside from that, Zach, I mean it hasn't been looking good. We've got Charlie O'Donnell in here. Yeah, bad bets. Benny, we'll have to have Ben tell us a little bit more about that a little later, but. We'll get to some of our predictions here. I'll make it nice. I'll keep it short and sweet like I like to do here. Nice Thursday night primetime game here for the Dallas Cowboys. Are they going to beat a team above 500? This could be the first time ever this season. And guess what? Even if we do, we're going to have to hear, well, they're 500 now. So you can't win with Dallas. Again, I do like Dak saying I'm not done yet. He said I haven't proven shit. I respect that. He's in the MVP. I like that out of Dak. We need to keep that. Hey, I got him in fantasy too, Ben. I made a late season push for him. Kirk Cousins went down. Tough one. But Dallas at home. I'm going to have to be watching this game on my small screen. I'm going to be at that Bruins game with Rob. Shout out to Rob for taking me to that Bruins game. But Dallas Cowboys, they play very well at home, Ben. We know that. I don't like this matchup for the Seahawks at all. I think it's going to be a little closer than it was for the Commanders, but again, Dallas is rolling. Dak looks really, really good. I'm not in love with this Seahawks defense either. They're kind of banged up. Geno Smith as well. Same with Kenneth Walker. I don't know what his situation is. DK Metcalf hasn't really been the same. He's been okay. I have him in fantasy, but he hasn't been like amazing. I don't know. That's just a team that's starting to slowly, fall apart there, Ben. I'm going to say Dallas wins 27-10 wanted to come to my mind, but I don't think it'll be that high. I said 27 last week for Dallas. I'm going to say, actually, I'll stick with it. I'll stick with my guns. I'm going to say 27-14. 13-point win. Dallas will win. I think they're just going to come out right out the gate. But you never know. Watch this be the game Dallas loses, but no, they should win. I'll say 27-14.
Like that one, Josh. I like that one. And hey, Jeff. Jeff Betts coming in there too, just cashing in that first basket, 3-pointer for Jaylen Brown. So shout out to Jaylen. Forget Jeff that money. Don't really like it. Jeff just beat me in fantasy. Yeah, Jeff just beat me in fantasy. Was one of the bad beats. TJ Hawkinson catching that touchdown last night. Put him over. So don't really care for Jeff right now, but hey, I guess congrats. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Deron Bland does have more touchdowns than this entire Seattle wide receiving core. He might have more than the Patriots too. We got to double check that, but yeah, we don't need to go too much into this one, Josh. Another Thursday one for the Cowboys. It's easy one for them. No Kenny Walker, obviously, as you mentioned, oblique, but it's going to be all over for the Seahawks. I think these injuries are just catching up for them. Too tough of a schedule for them. Still got to play the Niners again. It's just and play the Eagles right after that. It's just really tough stretch for them to lose Kenny Walker. One of their best, one of their better, I should say. Finally found the right word right there. One of their better options. I mean, DK's still there. Lockett's at times can still be a threat, but yeah, I think this secondary is going to shut down those weapons. It's like Josh said, a little close in the Commanders. I'll go 28. I'll go 28-14. 28-14. It won't kill them too bad, but I think Cowboys win this convincingly.
They're on a roll right now. Seahawks, tough part of the schedule. We're gonna move forward here. We've got Ben's. I was trying to look it up here. I put the Steelers as the next game. I don't know if the Patriots are.
No, we got the Steelers on there.
Okay, yeah, they're 1:00. Okay, I was right. Oh, yeah, Patriots are 1:00 too. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Got Steelers. This is a little what Super Bowl was this? Super Bowl number
30 something, late
30 something, 2009.
30
That's all I know.
2009. It was a great. It's Antonio Holmes catch one. Antonio catch. The catch. One. That's the only one. That's all that matters, Josh. The catch.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I'll never forget that Larry Fitzgerald breakaway run. I was rooting for the Cardinals in that. I was a huge Larry Fitzgerald fan. I liked Kurt Warner as well. Just came up a little short. Shout out to Big Ben and company. Your Steelers for getting it done. They're going to get it done again. This should be a lock of the week. I teased this as my lock of the week. I didn't end up doing it. I went something else. Steelers, hey man, you could be 8-4. We previewed their schedule a little earlier in the season. Beat up on the Bengals there. They're going to beat up on the Cardinals. I do think Kyler Murray will keep things a little interesting, but this defense is just too sound, especially at home. They're locked in. They know that they want to have a chance here to fight in a very competitive division. Kenny Pickett, I mean, whoa. What a difference, throwing for over, 400 yards. Finally letting it loose. Najee Harris looked to be like his old self. Maybe the whole team's like, we just needed to move on from Canada. They looked good. Ben, I'm going to say 24-10. You win this one. Your defense holds to 10 points. I love that defense. Shout out my guy Minkah Fitzpatrick, TJ Watt as well. Got some other sleeper studs there.
Smith, come on, we gotta give it to Highsmith too.
Highsmith, that's your guy, just on that new contract. But yeah, I like the Steelers in this one. And hey Nick, I just want to say as well, Cowboys must win game. Their next 3 games, they are tough. I will say that, Nick. But aside from that, and Bianca as well, I didn't want to forget Bianca. Cowboys, they're still a wild card team. They still are. Eagles just beating us out for that division. But back to the Steelers at home. I'm going to call it Heinz Field. They're going to be the ketchup bottle. Come on. Steelers fans are going to be leaving with some ketchup packets. It's going to be 24-10. They'll beat down on the Red Sea. Minka Fitzpatrick is going to have a forced fumble.
I like it. I like it, Josh. Here we go. We already got the haters coming in there. Cheek coming in here already. Would be the worst 8-4 team of all time. Yeah, we're hearing it already. But I think, as you pointed out, Josh, it really was just. I can totally blame him for everything, Canada, but it was just time to move on. Just like as I mentioned with this Mac and Zappy thing, I think it's just better for both sides if we just move on and you see it. You see the success, and everyone seems to be a little more, a little happier on that side of the ball, a little more enthusiastic on that side. Enthused to play on, everyone's trying a little harder. Najee, Jalen Warren, and a little fumble over there. We'll get to that. I mean, I don't know what Deontay's doing right there. I don't know. I've never seen that from Deontay, from anybody really.
Such a loser, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
he bothers me, dude.
yeah, it was a little questionable. The response after too, a little questionable. Show me a little more effort. I know he just dropped that pass, but I mean, it's your fault. You got that ball knocked. You got that touchdown knocked out of there. Uh, did he see it now? Can't I blame him for that? But I mean, if the guy's running with the ball, you probably should try to tackle him or something. Give it a little effort instead of just watching him. So Deontay, he's a little on the iffy side right now. Pat Frymuth, the best guy right there, as Jeff pointed out. Best guy. Great to have him back. But Matt handled the Bengals. Hopefully, it was a little worrisome at times, but this not from the offensive side. The defense gave me a couple scares, but uh, the offense couldn't finish at times too. But we got the yards there. But I'm taking Steelers, especially at home. Cardinals, I think we'll take advantage of that offensive line. We'll win them. I'll go 21-10. 21-10. They're only getting a touchdown. Only a touchdown, a field goal. We're still not scoring that many points. We got to still slowly ease into it, but
Fair.
I like it. I like it from this offense right now. Kenny's got another lifeline. Let's just see if he can replicate this.
Hey, I couldn't agree with Marianne anymore. Steelers need to keep the momentum going now that they made that change. 100%. The players seemed into it. Kenny Pickett airing the ball out a little bit more. You like to see that. Even Najee Harris, as we mentioned. I know we talked about some of the issues in the backfield there in the past, and still moving forward. But aside from that, team looked a little bit more fresh out there on the field. I like this one. I teased it as a lock of the week, so I kept that in my back pocket. This is an interesting one too. I mean, on paper, you're looking at this when the schedules drop, like, oh, this is a good game. Chargers, Patriots. I mean, both of these teams. The Chargers, I don't even know. Like it's like frustrating because I actually like the Chargers. I love Justin Herbert too. I mean, the Patriots are terrible. They're not going to win this game. They're I feel like they like actually want to lose. Mac Jones, like I feel like he actually wants to lose. I feel like he's like actually a part of their process of like I honestly feel like they went out, talked to him, and was like, "Hey, you're safe. Like we're gonna go out and get like a nice draft pick. You might as well just like start tanking." Like, because I don't know like what the hell's going on. I mean, he's throwing still off the back foot. He's making runs all the way to the right side of the field, throwing to the opposite side. Like just terrible. Like they tell you not to make plays. I'm going to say Chargers win by 10 or more. I'll say Chargers defense is really bad. Their secondary too. So I'll say the Patriots will put up like 20 feels like a lot. I'm going to say 13 for the Patriots, 20 for the Chargers. They lose by 7. I didn't like saying the Patriots score first, even though they lost. I felt a little weird. But 2013 Chargers win. They go to 5-7. I mean, they're done. They're done too. But yeah, sorry. I mean, I can't get behind the Patriots. It's Rob's back. Jeff, 1910 Pats. Gillette will be rocking. Charlie, Rob, let me talk to you. Rob's back. But I don't. Patriots. Pats are gonna. They'll lose. They'll find a way to lose.
Yeah, Jeff and Charlie just saying that they'll be in attendance for that. So hopefully they get to see
Yes.
a loss there. Hopefully they get to see loss and come back a little sad. But yeah, I don't know who wants to win this one. Both these teams are just finding ways to lose games. Someone's gonna have to win it. I mean, I don't want to say the Panthers are just totally gonna lose this one. Chargers have been finding a lot. I think they've been finding more ways to lose games than the Patriots. The Patriots just stink with the Chargers coming up with creative ways to lose games, blowing leads, and just these crazy plays. I just don't even know what they're doing half the time. I'm gonna go with the Chargers though. Go with the Chargers. Keep it safe and everything. But this game is just gross. No offense to these guys, but actually all the offense. These guys, I don't know what's going on with these two teams. They need to reevaluate both themselves. They got to go. But I'll 19-10. I'll go 24-17. 24-17 Chargers. It'll be a close game. Just because, I mean, both are going out. That defense is in shambles. They just say Keenan Allen's the only bright spot. Shout out to Keenan Allen. That's my guy. But the Chargers just need to figure out just something else. Get rid of Staley. Just got to do something with Herbert. And Herbert's got to take more responsibility. Got to do something to take the next step. And as we mentioned, Patriots are just tanking. Patriots just trying to get Drake Mayer, Caleb Williams. So they don't care in this one. So I got Chargers 24-17.
Yeah, it's just I couldn't agree with that anymore. 2-10. Yeah, that'll be an interesting one. I'm actually going to the Chiefs Patriots game in a couple weeks. That'll be an interesting one. But my lock of the week, you see it on the screen here. The Jacksonville Jaguars. They're at home, 8-3. They're feeling good. That was a huge win against the Texans. Kind of calmed down everybody. Said, relax. This is still our division. Big win. I think they're gonna go to 9-3 here. I count it as the lock. I mean, I like the Jake Browning thing, but it's done. I mean, it's tough. I mean, you've got Jamar Chase bailing him out with catches off defenders. I like the Jags. I'm going to say the Jags win this one 31-10, beat down. Trevor Lawrence, I mean, this is another team I'm not fully sold on yet. I know I like their record, but again, they have their weird things. They're kind of an inconsistent 8-3 team, if that makes any sense. But I like them to win this one. Lock it in. No Joe Burrow, no Bengals. 31-10. Jacksonville Jaguars as my lock of the week.
This won't be even quicker for me because it's on me. I forgot this was also my lock, but I got the Cowboys as a lock. It's a nice, easy one. I already went through it. Cowboys, easy lock for me. Just if you got survivor pools, if you got anybody, if you still haven't used, probably already used the Cowboys because of that not so great schedule, but I use it here. Nice, easy one. Don't have to go too much into it. I like this upset, Josh. I'll transition to my upset one. This one was pretty good. I got the Titans over the Colts. Titans over the Colts, as you mentioned, Colts 6-5. Trying to get to that last wild card spot. They've been looking good. Nice little win over the Bucks. But something about this Titans team, 4-1 at home this year. Totally different team at home than on the road. On the road, they stink. But at home, just different teams. So Will Levis, I think he's going to deliver a great game against his Colts. Colts, a little iffy at times. And Colts just losing Jonathan Taylor for 2 to 3 weeks. That's going to be a real detriment to them. Probably the lines will be changed a little. I don't know how much, but hopefully the Colts still are favored. But I got the Titans in this one. Derrick Henry gonna have a nice little game. Colts are the best run defense, so I think Henry takes advantage of that. And Titans always look to get that divisional win. So I see the Colts slipping a little like they always do, and Titans taking advantage of it right here. So I'll go. I don't want to go 24-17 again. I'll go 17-14. 17-14, gross game. Typical.
Low scoring one there. Hey, I mean, I love the Derrick Henry needs to play good. That's music to my ears. It would have been the two running backs going head to head. Jonathan Taylor, though, I mean, I'm 8-4 in one league, man. I need these wins, and I need him to be healthy. Hopefully, whatever, rest him now. I mean, I'm trying to look for a bye week in one of my leagues. So I need him there.
It's that bye week.
We've got Charlie. Is Zach Moss better than Taylor though?
He's trolling.
I hope he's trolling
his
on
fantasy.
That one. I wouldn't say yeah. Okay.
He's fantasy trolling. It's all right.
He's fantasy trolling. I alluded to this one earlier. I'm gonna go quick because we're running out of time. The Musty City. They're gonna be playing in the Musty City. The Detroit Lions. I'm not sold on this team, Ben. This is a Packers team who talk about inconsistent and fraudulent in them. Super inconsistent. This Lions secondary is not that good. I know the Packers have a decent little receiving core. Come on. The Saints at home, the musty city. They know that they got to win this one. They got to get back to 500. They have to keep pace with the Falcons. I'm not sticking a fork in them like you are. I will say though, the Derek Carr situation's getting interesting. Lions are a playoff team. I don't know. I'm not buying. I think they'll win that division, but I'm not buying them overall. I'm not buying them to go make a deep run. You never know. I mean, every time I say something like that, it doesn't end up true. But this is my upset of the week. Zach, if you're here, I know you want Detroit, but close your eyes. The Musty City is going to win and lead him to the promised land. They'll be right back in the swing of things for the division. I don't even know how much I believe in this, but guess what? I'm rocking with it. Let's go Saints. Let's get that Superdome vibing. I'm going to say 24-23 in a stunner. A stunning upset. The Saints, the New Orleans Musty City Saints, beat the Detroit Lions in a stunner. That is my upset of the week.
Josh, that's perfect. And yeah, that pasta with just butter and salt doesn't sound too bad for Josh right now, Aaron. So that's what he can look forward to. So and yeah, thanks for that one. NFC South does stink. So uh got that one on there. And yeah, Jeff, December just starting for Derrick Henry. That's cool. Yeah, probably not, but that Titans offense stinks. But solid, I guess it's a solid upset, Josh. Not the best, but
Let's hope, Ben. I'm going to turn it to Ben as always, but just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Let's go Cowboys. I'll be watching them during the Bruins game. Let's go Bruins as well. Celtics got to make it into the play. I mean, like, what are we doing here? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I want them to check off all those boxes. And I'm going to leave it at this. Let's go Musty City. Prove me right.
to prove them wrong on that one. So I want to put that one out there. Like I said again, pasta with the butter and salt. Enjoy that, Josh. That doesn't sound too bad. That's not too bad. I'm going to harp on that one. Not that bad for me. I like the pasta with the butter. But yeah, no, as always, thanks everyone's tuning in. Robbie Betts. Go check out that Connor Bedard score anytime. And the over for Fred Van Fleet. Keep it short and simple here. Celtics win, Nets lose. Everyone wins except the Pats. And I don't like you, TJ Hawkinson.